Hey, it's Father Taylor here. My new coffee shirt. Thank you for that gift. It's Father Taylor here, and it's Friday, January 21st, and here's your weekly eBlast. So here's what we got coming up. Sunday. Sunday's the big day this week. Sunday, we have two things going on. First of all, we have missionaries who have been coming to our church since 1986 was the first time. It goes way, way back. They have spent 35 years in mission. Uh, they both had lots of other options for things to do, but they really wanted to take this word, this message of Jesus to places that weren't necessarily getting it, and they ended up in Chile. And it's a great story. Heidi and Russ Smith have been there. If you've been around for a while, you may remember them. Heidi's really hysterical. She's got a great sense of humor. Russ is the kind of easygoing, steady guy. But Heidi explained that the last thing she wanted to ever do, the two things that she said she would never do, was become a missionary, and two, go to a country where she'd have to learn a language. And this is the way God seems to work. So anyway, so Heidi and Russ will not be physically present. You can pray. Russ contracted COVID, and they have some other dates that they have to arrive in certain places. But I said, hey, don't come this week. Take a week off, get better. And so we have a recording. So in your eBlast, you'll see there's two things. One, there's an interview I did with them. It's about 20 minutes or so, just talking about mission and things they're up to. So it's a great one just to kind of get a cup of coffee and you can listen in. And then on Sunday, Russ and Heidi will be giving most of the message for that morning. And we're going to have, they're making a video of that, and that'll be part of our service. So that's the Smiths. Now listen, I know that from time to time we give a small amount and have given to them for a while, but this, and that comes out of the budget, you know, it's a fairly meager amount, but I'm just going to say missionaries like Russ and Heidi get paid, they pay their bills and do the stuff they need to do on the basis of raising support. It's an annual thing. It's an ongoing process. They're always raising support. And so I'm going to give you an opportunity to, if you hear this message, God touches your heart, I want you to respond, to be able to give what you'd like to give, $10, $10 a month, whatever God puts on your heart to give. But at the end of their message and in the information that you'll see, as there'll be places to be able to respond to the Smiths, to be able to give above even what we give to them, you know, semi-annually or so in our budget. So that's the Smiths. Then 11:45 after church on Zoom, we're having an annual meeting workshop. In this eBlast, you'll see all kinds of stuff. You also got it on Wednesday. There's a report from me about where are we with resources. There's the current, the newest treasure, the budget. Yeah, that's in there, so you can take a look at that. And there's some other information that's just all in there. There's a lot of stuff going on. The bylaws, we're changing some of the structures of the church. Now, here's the question. I got to tell you, as a regular person, I'm involved with another organization that has very similar structure. It's not a church organization. It's another 501c3. You have to have an annual meeting. You have to have a board. You have to have members, all those things. And let me just tell you, and after I was on the board, I stopped going to the meetings, right? People want to ask me an opinion, I'm glad to give it, but I'm not much of a meeting guy. However, I go to meetings because this isn't just an organization that I attend. This is our church community of which we're a family, of which we're a part. So you just don't attend. Maybe perhaps you thought of church as a place that you go on most Sundays and you go because it gives you something. No, we're a community, and a community involves responsibility. And one of the things we do is we show up. Now, we show up also to annual meeting. That's the big ticket item, and that's the following week. But you'll have an opportunity to ask questions on Zoom this week at 11:45 following the service. All that information is written down. Carol does a great job of making sure you get all the information, all the links get set up. So that's all there available for you. So If you can't come this Sunday to the church service, I would ask you to pray for the Smiths. Over 35 years, the context and the place of where they do their work, continues to shift. And they're going through, interesting enough, some of the very similar social trends that we are here in the States. The people who have been a part of church, just there seems to be a lack of interest in that. And so they like, how do you reach people? How do you reach people that may have heard this message, but they're sort of numb to God's call, numb to God's call. And so, so I would like you to pray for them. This week's sermon, this week's gospel, there are so many references to Jesus in the power of the Spirit. That's what we need for ministry. And the power of the Spirit is how we live our lives each day in the ministry that God calls us to right here. So anyway, so that's an abbreviated version, a little bit shorter version of the eBlast. Take a look at our coffee conversation with Heidi and Russ. They're great people. Here's a funny part. When I had never met them before, I'd spoken to them on the phone. So here they are, and I'm meeting Heidi, and she's got this very prim and proper, is that called a blouse, a shirt on with this coat. And I thought, wow, these people are interesting. It's part of what the traditional outfits they wear in Chile on certain days. Oh, okay. Anyway, it's a funny thing. We have a little joke about that. But anyway, so great. There's the eBlast. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Be careful, stay well. Keep praying for God's Spirit to be poured out upon our church and for our people to become more and more a part of God's mission in saving our world and in seeing other people come to know Jesus, which is the picture of salvation. All right, thanks.